they said nothing. They said that Israel has the right to targeted action and condemned Hamas for the attack on October the 7th, as if nothing had happened before October the 7th. That Israel hasn't occupied the Gaza Strip for 57 years, that it hasn't killed thousands of its people before now, that there is a record of a siege lasting 17 years, a starvation siege in essence, on the Gaza Strip. That is the context for October the 7th. And what happened was a breakout from what David Cameron called the largest open-air prison in the world. Since when do people not have the right to break out? And the attacks, we were told, with all the colonial stereotypes that are applied to colonial resistance, that babies had their heads beheaded, that there were mass rapes, there were attacks on civilians. It turns out that no one under the age of 3 even died. It turns out that Israel bombed its own army bases, and for good measure Kibbutz Beria, with tank shells, because it didn't want them to be exchanged for Palestinian hostages, which is also not mentioned. There are now 10,000 Palestinian hostages inside Israel, over 1,000 of whom don't have any trial. They're in what's called administrative detention, and the rest are tried in military courts, which have a 99.7% conviction rate, which suggests they might not have a fair trial. That is the context in which October the 7th happened. But the right to resistance, of course, is not accepted by the so-called leadership that we see in Britain. And